Round 13 of the World Rally Championship, and we're in Japan. But most people's thoughts are still focused on the sad events in Rally GB, where Marco Martin's popular co-driver Michael Park died in a high-speed accident. He will be sadly missed up and down the service park.
It's a difficult time for everybody. I think everybody could see, that when the news hit the service park in Wales, that it's such an effect on everybody, because he's been involved with most of the teams in the World Championship, and particularly the last 3 years with us. And we all know how such a special guy he was, not only doing his job, but as a human person. I mean, he was just a super guy.
He was a really nice guy, and we had so nice moments with him together, and he never a problem here at all. He was so good. So it feels very strange to what happened.
He was a friend outside of the sport as well, so I shall miss him a great deal. But it's been very, very strange here this week without him around. Very strange feeling indeed.
Do you really feel the best thing that you and the rest of the drivers and co-drivers can do for him and his memories, just to get the helmets on and go for it, get out there?
In a way, yes, because it's the sort of guy that he was. It's to sort of say, well, get out there and get on with it. So that's what we are doing. Speaking with his family, it's something that they're very keen to do as well. They're very keen that it's business as normal, and that's what we'll try and do. Okay, it'll never be quite normal for myself, because, as I said, it's very strange without him being around, but we will try and continue the best we can.
So, under difficult circumstances, the World Rally Championship continues, with Sebastian Loeb on the verge of retaining his title. The Frenchman is 34 points ahead of Peter Solberg and only needs to finish in a podium position to clinch the 2005 driver's crown. And Citroën are also on course to retain the manufacturer's title, particularly if Francois Duval can continue his recent good form. Daniel Carlson steps in for Marco Martin at Peugeot, who are currently 20 points behind Citroën. So with 4 rounds remaining, Peugeot are running out of time to close the gap on their rivals, while Ford and Subaru are fighting it out for 3rd place. This year is the first opportunity for the local rally fans to see the 2 Japanese manufacturers Subaru and Mitsubishi go head-to-head. Mitsubishi missed this event last year, but are here in 2005 and led by #1 driver Harry Rovanperä. Last season, it was left to Peter Solberg to fly the flag for Japan by winning in the Subaru Impreza.
It's important to win the Japanese half of the battle, and there are a lot of fans for both sides. Last year was a very sort of blue and yellow year. All the luck ran our way, and it was everywhere you looked, whether it was up front with Peter or back in Group N. It was a good rally for Subaru last year. I'd like to think it'll be the same this year.
And Skoda will be looking to build on their good result in Great Britain. Mikko Hirvonen replaces Colin McRae for a one-off appearance. So here we are in the northern Japanese island of Hokkaido. The rally is based in the city of Obihiro, 1,200 kilometers from the country's capital, Tokyo. A typically vibrant and colourful ceremonial start in Obihiro, with thousands of fans lining the streets to cheer on their heroes. Last year's winner, Peter Solberg, as always, welcomed with open arms. Early Friday morning, and it's Sebastian Loeb who begins the rally, knowing he could be just 3 days away from retaining the Drivers' Championship. Unfortunately for Loeb, though, the road surface on this opening 9-kilometre stage is covered in very loose gravel, so running first is bad news for the Citroën driver as he drops time cleaning the driving line.
Et attention, droite sans contre-pont. Gauche à fond, ferme 140.
It's a lot of gravel in all the stage. It's very, very slippery, and so I had no grip. We have to clean the road. We'll see.
Last year's Rally Japan winner, Petter Solberg, is next on stage. Still a lot of loose gravel here. The Norwegian's championship hopes are all but gone, but he'll want to reward the Subaru fans with another win at their home event. He's 8 seconds quicker than Loeb after stage 2. It's obviously going to be a difficult weekend for Marcus Grönholm and the whole Peugeot team after the events in Wales. The Finn, though, gets off to a solid start here in Japan. He's just 2 seconds behind Solberg after 2 stages. And it's a terrific effort, too, from Petter's teammate, Chris Atkinson. This is one of the few rallies where the young Australian has competed before, and his experience shows. He's quickest on stage 1 and leads a rally for the first time.
4.43, maybe a 4.2.
Petter did a really good time considering his road position, so he took a fair bit out of Loeb, and we sort of took a steady run, didn't want to make a mistake, but it's good to have a lead in a rally.
Mikko Hirvonen has also begun well in his first drive for Skoda. Benefiting from starting down the field with all the loose gravel being swept away, the Finn is running an impressive 4th. Atkinson lost his lead to Solberg on stage 2, but is only 0.2 of a second behind. Sebastian Loeb has work to do. He's currently down in 8th. In 9th is Peugeot stand-in Daniel Carlson, and Ford are struggling with both Tony Gardemeister and Roman Cresta out of the points. Stage 3 is the longest in the World Championship at a mammoth 50 kilometres. And it's been a frustrating morning for Sebastian Loeb so far. If the championship leader's road sweeping problems continue, he could really suffer on this long stage. After a disappointing mid-season, Petter Solberg is desperate to get back to winning ways in Japan. But it's not just the Norwegians' traditional rivals that are of concern. His teammate Chris Atkinson is looking a real threat today. This is a real test of concentration as well as driving skill on this huge stage. Loeb is approaching the 25-kilometre mark. 30 minutes, 54.6 seconds so far. Solberg set the identical time to Loeb on the previous stage, but as he nears that midway split, he's looking good to better the Frenchman's time here. Well, that's a close call, but this should still be a good time. Yes, look at that, already nearly 10 seconds faster. Now, has Atkinson been able to maintain his impressive early pace? It would certainly appear so. He's beaten Loeb too, nearly 11 seconds quicker, and he's also on course to beat Solberg. Well, unless Loeb's found some extra speed on the second half of this stage, he's not going to match the flying Subarus. Back with Solberg, and he is still pushing hard. The end of the stage coming up, and he's definitely going to beat Loeb. The question is, by how much? 10 seconds faster. That's a great time from Solberg. The Norwegian takes the provisional lead, but with Chris Atkinson still to finish, that may not last long. He was just 0.2 of a second behind his teammates coming into this marathon of a stage, and this is looking very quick.
Right, 30, extra long, 8 left.
What a performance from the Australian. He's nearly 5 seconds faster than Solberg, and he reclaims the rally lead.
Lost 1 second in 10. I don't know. We might have lost a little bit more hand here, but not much.
That was tricky. Like, front tyres went with maybe 15k to go. Petter probably had the same problem. And you're coming in, you think you're going so slow, and you nearly go off the road. And then you have to think everyone's got the same conditions. So we just kept going.
Marcus Gronholm is the best of the rest on stage 3 and maintains his 3rd position. And it's been a steady start from his teammate Daniel Carlson in his first outing in the 307 since Sweden back in February. The Swede is running in 9th.
Oh, massive stage, massive. First time I go through this stage with a recce 2 times and flat out. Oh, in some corners here. It's very, very exciting, I can tell you.
Harry Rovanperä is leading Mitsubishi's charge in the team's first outing at their home event. The Finn is 5th fastest on stage 3 and in the same position overall. Gishigali is ensuring that the Japanese manufacturer have 2 cars in the point-scoring places. This mistake, though, sees the Italian drop 1 position to 8th. With the stages here so narrow, it takes an age for the Italian to get back pointed in the right direction.
I spun and I lost 20 seconds maybe, I don't know.
And Mikko Hirvonen too is unable to maintain his terrific start for Skoda. A stall at the start there, but the young Finn is trying very hard to impress the team.
Oikein hidas, kyra. 5. Lyhyt oikein täys. 100.
It's an untidy performance on stage 3 though, and he loses nearly 50 seconds and falls to 7th.
Where do I begin? First in the start I stole the engine. I went off twice. Then I had a spin in one junction where I lost 10 seconds and then the gear shift broke. But we made it.
So Atkinson has reclaimed the lead then after stage 3, and what a battle this is shaping up to be between the 2 Subaru teammates. Gronholm remains 3rd. An Australian leads a WRC event for the first time. Join us after the break. Welcome back to Japan as we move on to stage 4. It's been a disappointing morning so far for Ford and Tony Gardemeister. All the Blue Ovals drivers have struggled to make an impact, and the Finn is no exception on his first attempt at Rally Japan. He's 9th fastest on stage and unable to improve on 12th place overall. Back at the sharp end, meanwhile, how will Petter Solberg react to losing the lead to his young teammate Chris Atkinson? And this is the view of that same section of rural Japan from inside the car of the Norwegian.
6 right, 6 left, first to the crest. 5 right, first, right to it. Open to the crest, 100. Finding a open happy left, right.
It's a good time from Petter, so Atkinson needs to maintain the impressive speed he's shown this morning.
50 crest.
The surface on this stage, though, is a lot softer than we've seen so far, and it's very rutted by the time the Australian arrives. This doesn't look good for Chris. He's already slower.
Very long, 8 right, tightens half long at push, 300. 300, Fred 100, stop.
Oh dear, over 16 seconds were lost there, and the lead is his teammates once again.
31.
So a 4.5 second deficit has become a 12-second advantage for Solberg, with Gronholm now just 7 seconds behind Atkinson, and Loeb is still ominously close behind in fourth.
Chris, 2 stage wins and you've led the rally, your first ever lead in a WRC event. You must be very pleased.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So hopefully we can keep it up for the remainder of the day. But we're not here to win, really. We're here to get a good result, and we'll try and just keep the same pace.
Petter, 4 stages down and advantage Subaru now.
Yeah, it is, and that's very good for us. And it's just a few things more we have to be perfect, and that's the next few stages now with the tyre choice.
I'm so impressed with our Mitsubishi fan. Last year we are sorry we couldn't come, but this year we made it, and we are supported by such a amazing fans. So our team, driver, everybody are so motivated and happy, and we receive extra energy from them. So we will make a best performance. We will show that.
Repeated stages this afternoon, so the front runners are under less of a disadvantage now, with all the loose gravel already swept away. Marcus Gronholm has been impressed with the recent suspension changes to the 307, and over these flowing and undulating roads the car has been very competitive. Coming into stage 6, Gronholm has narrowed the gap to Atkinson to just 4.2 seconds. So the Australian is coming under increased pressure to hold on to his second place. He's definitely lost some of his pace this afternoon. How will he compare to Gronholm through here? With a cushion of less than 5 seconds, this is going to be close. No, he's slower again. He's now just 1.1 seconds ahead.
Supervision, clear of stage.
It's still his Subaru teammate Petter Solberg who's leading, though. The Norwegian is looking more competitive than he has done for several rallies, and another pair of top 3 stage times are enough to ensure he stays ahead of his rivals. It's been a difficult rally so far for the returning Gilles Panizzi. He's not driven for Mitsubishi since May, and it shows. The Frenchman is running down in 15th. Czech driver Roman Kresta has also been disappointing in Japan. Like Panizzi, it's his first attempt at this rally, and he's 11th after stage 6. François Duval, meanwhile, has made a solid if cautious start. But he does need to continue his recent run of strong scoring finishes to keep Citroën on course for the manufacturer's title. He's on target to score 3 points in 6th. And the Belgian is just 5.2 seconds behind Harry Rovanperä, but it's Solberg who's still leading the way, while Gronholm has now closed right up on the second place of Atkinson. Stage 7 is the repeat run through that 50-kilometre test that proved such a challenge earlier in the day. After a very promising start, Mikko Hirvonen's competitiveness has faded somewhat this afternoon, and an off on stage 7 ends his first day's action. A change of fortune, though, for Roman Kresta. The Czech driver is 8th fastest and jumps 4 places to 8th. Gigi Gali is showing some impressive pace too after his mistake earlier in the day. The Italian is gradually finding his feet on his first attempt at the Rally Japan. He's 4th fastest and passes Duval for 6th. Chris Atkinson, meanwhile, needs to push hard if he's to hold off Marcus Gronholm.
Late flip, 6 left open. 100 brake, late flip, 6 left open.
Frustratingly for the Australian, though, he's caught up with a struggling Anthony Warmbold, hampered by the hanging dust.
Right minus crest, then tightens half long. Then don't cut 7 left, opens. Don't cut 7 left, opens.
Chris is forced to back right off.
7 right, then mid 8 left. 50, long 9 left minus 50. 8 right, tightens half, flip, opens 200. Long 8 right plus opens.
Until he does eventually get past the German, but that was a very costly stage.
Turn 3 right, minus at log, narrow and slippy.
Chris, you've obviously come in ahead of Anthony there. Did it cost you much time?
Yeah, a fair bit, right through a tricky section. We're in his dust for, I don't know, 5 or 10k. But obviously it cost us time, but that's life.
But the quickest man of all through this very long stage is Sebastian Loeb. The harder, cleaner surface this afternoon suits his Michelin BTO tyres, which generally perform better in these dry conditions. And the Frenchman is certainly taking full advantage. He shatters his time from the first run through by over a minute and leapfrogs both Marcus Gronholm and Chris Atkinson to claim second. Atkinson has also slipped behind Gronholm after stage 7 after his delay, while further back Gigi Gali will now have his sights on his teammate's 5th position. The conclusion to day 1 of Rally Japan coming up after the break. So back to the action here in Japan. Just one more forest stage to come before a final 2-kilometre super special. Chris Atkinson may have been unable to maintain the searing pace he produced this morning, but this has still been a very strong performance from the Australian.
8 left opens. 70 brake press, par, 57.
He struggles to match the speed of the front runners again on stage 8, but his 4th position is safe for now. Marcus Gronholm has just been passed by championship leader Sebastian Loeb, and the Finn will be pushing hard to reclaim his 2nd place.
Pidä sisällä 200. Pari kirraa. Oikein eri kirraa. Oikein eri kirraa. Ja nyt vaseri miinus kirraa.
The Peugeot driver is 3rd fastest on this stage and stays in 3rd overnight. For once, a podium finish is more important to Sebastian Loeb than pushing for a win. 3rd place would be good enough to claim his 2nd consecutive World Championship, and he's currently on course to repeat the 2nd place he achieved here last year. 2003 World Champion Petter Solberg has not looked back since he passed his teammate Atkinson to claim the rally lead earlier today.
Opens 50, keep left of a crest, 6 right minus, opens 50, 5 right minus, tightens, 120, keep right to the crest, 30, 6 left plus, keep into the crest, 60, 6 right plus, half long, opens 50.
He's been cheered along the way by thousands of local Subaru fans, and the Norwegian claims his 2nd fastest time of the day on stage 8. He remains the rally leader going into day 2. There's no change in position in the top 8 over the final super special, and Solberg has an advantage of 23 seconds ahead of Loeb, with Gronholm just 11.6 seconds further back. Tony Gardemeister has passed Daniel Carlson for 9th, but that's still not good enough by Ford's high standards, while Armin Schwartz is now the leading Skoda driver in 12th.
Marcus, what are your thoughts at the end of day 1?
Okay, it has not been so fantastic day. It was a long stage where we had a lot of tire problems, and we didn't expect to have that, and it was disturbing the driving a lot. So not so good.
Sebastian, 2nd after day 1. How do you feel you performed?
I feel it's okay. I didn't want to take too much risk here. My first target is not to win, is to finish the 3 first places. So I was perhaps a bit too slow at the start of the rally because we lost some time by cleaning the road, by different things, and now the second lap was better, so no, it's okay.
What about tomorrow, quicker?
No, this is so important for us, this rally, and also for myself. So I will not try any quicker. I will try to keep the same speed as the others and not try anything stupid.
You're enjoying this though?
When things are right, things are going much, things are going much easier, and it's a real enjoyment now.
9 stages down and another 17 to come over the next 2 days. Keep up to date with all the latest news and results on WRC.com and join us again tomorrow for leg 2 of Rally Japan.